There is nothing worse than your favorite wrestler getting fired. Makes you question what on earth happened, and what makes it even more sad is when you realize the entire community felt this way. So what the flub is going on? Let us try and put some meat on those bones today, because yeah, this is indeed 10 beloved wrestlers fired by WWE. Number 10, CM Punk. You cannot deny this. No matter what you think about CM Punk, the man is an anomaly. Regardless what happens, he has this huge contingent of fans behind him, and let's face it, that's never going to change. Just go and watch his entrance at that Madison Square Garden show at the end of 2023. It's crazy. It's why him walking out of the WWE in 2014 was headline news, especially when it turned out Punk was struggling both physically and mentally. All things considered, this was probably the best move all around. It did leave us in limbo for a while when the infamous Art of Wrestling podcast dropped. And then we got the ultimate pipe bomb. WWE had sent Punk his firing papers on his wedding day. Ruh-roh. At the time, it was thought this was the ultimate relationship breaker, but then 2023 happened, and it just proves you can never say never in wrestling. But know this, a decade prior, fans were up in arms when this went down. Their beloved CM Punk seemed to have been gone for good. Number 9, William Regal. William Regal earned his spot. Known for spotting talent a mile away, he had become WWE's resident scout and was allowed to pop to certain indies across America to see he was going to be offered a contract. It was the stuff of legend. Is Regal popping out from behind the curtain? In terms of the fan base, it was mostly him shouting "War Games," which made him so popular, but his run as NXT general manager helped too. He wasn't a good guy, he wasn't a bad guy, he was just the authority, and he did a great job. It really did feel like his role was secured for life when, yeah, he was let go in 2022 with a bunch of other wrestlers, as the whole developmental system was given a shake-up too. For a while there, Triple H wasn't even involved, and he built the damn thing. There really was an outpouring of shock with this, and surprise, surprise, as soon as the game was back in charge, he hired William back. I think that sums up the whole situation. Number 8, Rusev. So this one means something to me. Rusev was literally my favorite. He just felt tailor-made for WWE as he continued to evolve throughout the years, when bam, he was another guy that got caught up in those wave of firings, and nobody could believe it. Maybe the writing was on the wall in the sense Vince McMahon didn't understand Rusev Day, deciding that the fans were patronizing the soon-to-be Miro, which was madness. Quite clearly wasn't the case at all. It felt so short-sighted, as even when given nonsense he made it work. See the Bobby Lashley Lana stuff. There was no surprise he ended up in AEW. Miro is money. I still have a feeling he will be another guy that returns to WWE at one point in the future. Watch this space. Number 7, Samoa Joe. I mean, Samoa Joe is one of the best wrestlers ever. I mean it. Whether it was Ring of Honor, TNA, WWE, or AEW, the man has always risen to the top, even if those in charge didn't expect to put him there. He is undeniable. I think the shock with his WWE release was that quite clearly management couldn't make up their minds. For you see, Joe was released in April 2021, which seemed nuts, got hired back almost immediately by Triple H for NXT. When 2022 rocked around, those changes we've already talked about happened, and he was gone again. What are we doing? There were so many question marks, not least because prior to this, Samoa had relinquished his NXT title, but hey, look at him now, flying in All Elite Wrestling, because he is the best. You don't fire Samoa Joe. Number 6, the British Bulldog. When you get into the depths of the British Bulldog's life, this isn't as surprising as your first thought. Poor Davey Boy Smith was a troubled so-and-so with a talent so strong he could have been the WWF champion. I don't think anybody would have begrudged him of it either. All of this was encapsulated in 1992, which was a mad year for the Brit, because he went from winning the Intercontinental title in the main event at SummerSlam 1992 to being fired in November. Yep. There's different reports as to why this happened, with one side saying the Bulldog wasn't happy with his push, and the other saying Vince McMahon wanted to tidy up the WWF's drug issues. When Davey Boy wouldn't agree, he had to be let go. I mean, it's such a shame. There was more than one of these fallouts, though, because... Number 5, the Ultimate Warrior. Yep, same as above, drugs. Bret Hart was at the center of this as he heard about the Bulldogs and Warriors firing following a phone call from Vince McMahon, and this was intended. He didn't want Hart to be blindsided by it all. It makes sense too, as there was an idea to do the Hitman versus the Ultimate One at WrestleMania, but let's look at it from our point of view. Fans didn't know about any of these backstage shifts, so as far as we were concerned, one of the most popular dudes in the company was just let go. It was crazy. As we would soon learn, the real-life Jim Hellwig got fired from the WWE a lot following numerous fallings out, though the Warrior always maintained he quit. Who knows? The 1996 one is especially interesting as it all tied into the passing of the Ultimate Warrior's father. Best you just Google that one. will take you down one hell of a rabbit hole. Number 4, Marty Janetti. Let's set this story right. There is no Rocker's curse. Marty Janetti could have been a super successful single star, but his own personal demons got in the way. You can see that when you watch his matches as fans go nuts for him, and he really was a guy ahead of his time. He wouldn't look out of place today. Because of his struggles though, he was fired and rehired more than anybody, as management knew they had something with him. Marty kept getting himself in trouble. The only one that has serious controversy around it came in 1993, because Janetti claimed old friend Shawn Michaels got him ousted after a lackluster Royal Rumble appearance. There may be some truth in that, but again, go and read his story. I would bet there were other factors too. Number 3, Mustafa Ali. I still think this was a huge mistake. Keep your eye on Mustafa Ali. He is going to set the scene on fire. It just seemed like WWE had no idea what to do with him, because this doesn't come down to talent. Ali excelled no matter what and was cooking at NXT when from nowhere he was released. I tell you, this was really stupid. His sheer dedication to the cause was second to none too, and Mustafa even tried to make the best of his 205 Live run, but all of this is just gonna serve him well. He's got a proper following and ready to work in 2024. The man is gonna light up the place and make a ton of money in the process. Then you give it a little bit, and yeah, I bet he's back in WWE too. Number 2, Eddie Guerrero. Another one where you needed to know what was happening behind the scenes to get a better understanding of it, because yeah, we know this, everybody loves and loved Eddie Guerrero. The proof of that was when he tragically passed away in 2005, and yet we still all talk about him with glee, and the sheer desire for him to exceed was amazing. He was a true babyface. Back in 2001 though, he too was struggling and his personal issues got so bad, WWE felt like they had no choice but to let him go. An arrest for drink driving was never going to go down well. The true heartbreak is that Eddie cleaned himself up and managed to fly within the company, only for his body to give out of him. It's just the worst story, but honestly, nobody will ever forget Guerrero. He was just too damn good. Number 1, Daniel Bryan. Now the truth about Daniel Bryan is that he's always been beloved even back in 2010. That may have been the more hardcore fan, but still, we knew. The buzz got so loud, WWE did hire him, but instantly you saw what they thought. He was put on the original NXT as his tutor The Miz mocked him constantly, which was the same for Michael Cole on commentary. He had to let everybody know all of the time that Bryan was a nerd. He was still part of that awesome Nexus angle back in 2010 when they attacked the main roster, but apparently Daniel took things too far. Even though the whole group was told to go nuts, when the American Dragon grabbed Justin Roberts and strangled him with his tie, the higher-ups decided they had to let him go. What? To be fair, this was mostly to appease sponsors, and when the heat died down, he was back, but still. This felt bonkers at the time, and a part of me believes if this hadn't have been Bryan, maybe we wouldn't have been as reactive. Doesn't matter now in the modern day, because look at the legacy he has left. He will go down as one of the best of all time. Now please do click the video on the screen that is 10 brilliant tweaks that suddenly made wrestlers cool as flub, although we didn't say flub. Like the video, share the video and subscribe. Also make sure you have a great day, and I will talk to you again very, very soon.